right, so it is at the end of the month, and we are bringing to conclusion our theme for this month, which is to be. Not to be, but to be fully in our lives, to shift from a human doing to a human being. And we have been exploring the multidimensional level of us. We exist on many different levels simultaneously. We can be on many levels simultaneously. And what we are understanding is that we experience in life the ideas that we have at a certain level, depending upon what level we are. Our experience depends upon what level we're seeing from, what lens we are seeing from. So we can identify with the physical, human being that we are in this human dimension, this world that is kind of immersed in, separation, egoic thinking. That's one level of us. There's also our heart level, where we're more likely to perceive love in a situation. There is the level of our unconscious, where our core beliefs and our fears and our subconscious shadows exist. There is the level, kind of our etheric self, where we might connect with our angelic guides or the wisdom of our ancestors, right? And there's also the highest divine level of us, that infinite, eternal self that we can connect with in meditation, in contemplative prayer, in communing with spirit and nature, when we're in a state of gratitude, which is why we practice gratitude, right? So what we see in our experience is dependent upon the eyes we are seeing with. It's like the story of the homeowner, the person who's buying a house. And she's driving through the neighborhood, in the place that she is thinking of buying this house, to check it out, to see what the neighborhood is like. And she sees somebody mowing their lawn, and rolls down the window and, hey, I'm thinking of buying the house down the street. What's this neighborhood like? Oh, it's awful, he says. No one takes care of their lawns properly. The stores are terrible. There's no good restaurants. And the people are so unfriendly. So she's a little taken aback, all right? But she decides to continue on, and she sees somebody walking their dog down the street. And she decides, to pull over and roll down her window and ask, what is this neighborhood like? I'm thinking of buying a house here. Oh, it's lovely. The people are so friendly. They're lovely. We get together for social events. There's a lot of great restaurants and terrific stores. Have everything you need. You're going to love it here. Same town, same neighborhood, two completely different views of it, right? What we see is dependent upon the eyes with which we are seeing. So I want to sort of take this from a different angle. A few weeks ago, I facilitated the Pathways to Community class. And we had a wonderful class. There were 10 lovely people. And if you have taken that class or you're a member, you might remember that there is this understanding that you review that is the 4 levels of spiritual growth. The 4 levels of spiritual growth. And as I was looking at it, I thought, this is really, really powerful stuff. This is really powerful information here. So I want to dive into it a little more deeply. So in Unity, they see these 4 levels of spiritual growth or conscious evolution. And those are victim, the level of the victim, vessel, it's victim, victor, vessel, and verity. See, they're playing with the V's there. And At Agape, when I studied at Agape under Reverend Michael Beckwith years and years ago, they had the same model, the same levels that they identified. They just called them something different. They called it, well, victim was the same. And then there was manifester and channel and oneness consciousness. So it's all kind of the same idea. And the idea is that we are expressing and experiencing life from one of these four levels at all times. So let's look at each of these. And by the way, we came to refer to them as to me, by me, through me, and as me. So that's kind of an interesting way to remember that. So the first level is victim, which is, just what it implies. You see yourself as a victim. It's a very powerless position. You are at the effect of the world. It's all happening to me, right? It's happening to me. This is the level of to me. The next level is victor. And this is where we begin to understand that we actually have some control over our lives. And we have a sense of agency, and we are participating in our lives. And this is also where we become aware that our thoughts and our beliefs are powerful in shaping our experience, right? And we might even begin to work with this and consciously direct our thoughts and our beliefs for a specific end. So we might begin to do affirmations and visualizations. This is the level of by me. And this, in the beginning, very often when people are starting this, it originates from a more of an ego-based desires, and later on it, sort of grows from there. All right, so the next level up is vessel. And that is when we become aware that there's a power larger than ourselves. This infinite divine source energy, the life breath behind all things, as Lao Tzu would say, or the Tao, or this divine life essence, or God, whatever you prefer, whatever it is that your understanding is. But this larger self, we can allow it to move through us, to move through our heart and into our experience. So this is the level of through me. I am of service to a higher purpose. All right? And then the level of verity, this is where I understand that there is no such thing as God and something else. That it is the I that I am. This is mystical union, that mystical union. And this is a place we attempt to get to in meditation and other spiritual practices. And we may touch on this level, during those practices or other times. It's mystical union. But living from that place, it's a whole different thing. So, spiritual masters, gurus, adepts, certainly Jesus, Buddha, lived from that awareness, that oneness consciousness. We could also call this Christ consciousness or the I am consciousness. So this is the level of as me. This is as me. So now, let's sort of test this. Let's test this idea. Let's go back to the story of the homeowner, right? And see if we can identify some of these levels, right? So the homeowner, the first person that she connects with, that she encounters, is the guy mowing his lawn. And do you remember what kind of things he said? What level would you say he was coming from? Victim, right, yeah. It's their fault. They're all doing it. Nobody's doing it right. All right, they're all ruining my experience. And he doesn't have any power to change things, It's like it's all wrong. Nobody's doing it right, and He's sort of living in a consciousness of an unfriendly universe. You know, as Einstein said, there's kind of two ways to perceive life. And that's that the universe, you're living in a friendly universe or you're living in an unfriendly universe. That's where that guy is. And what about the person who was walking his dog? What level might that be? Victor, right, Victor, manifester. You know, he is a friendly guy and he goes out and makes other friends. He might even be the one who is putting together these social events and, you know, inviting people. And maybe he just, you know, frequents nicer restaurants. Maybe if there's a store that he can't find what he wants, perhaps he goes and asks the manager to carry, you know, what it is he wants. So he has a sense of agency. He is participating actively in his life. Maybe he's even, while he's walking his dog, maybe he's even doing affirmations for a beautiful day, right? So that might be his level. Okay, now let's have some fun and create some new characters for our story. So what if she encounters someone, and as she asks, you know, I'm thinking of buying a house in this neighborhood, how is it? That person takes a moment, breathes, checks in with their heart, and says, you know, there's some really special restaurants here. In fact, I want to tell you that there's this really wonderful vegetarian restaurant. And she says, how'd you know I was vegetarian? Oh my God, that's really good news. I'd love to check that out. And maybe this person then also takes another breath and says, I bet you'd be interested in knowing about the park. We have a really fabulous park. It's got a great playground, and we have like a community garden that a lot of us participate in, you know, cultivating this garden. And she's like, I love to garden. Oh my God. And my kids would really love that playground. And so what level do you think that person might be coming from? Yeah, vessel. Allowing that divine wisdom, the divine intuition, getting in touch with it, allowing it to flow from the heart center to bless someone else, right? To help someone else. Now, I want you guys to help me with this one, right? Okay, so the next level up is verity, or oneness consciousness. What would that look like? What would somebody be doing if she ran into a person who is living in that oneness consciousness, verity? They have an idea? She would feel really good around them? Yes. Yeah, no doubt. Feel empowered, yeah. Yeah, right. Chanting, oh. Yeah. Might be. Yeah, yeah. Could be healing someone. Yeah. Or just maybe radiate such love and such presence, right? That person is lifted up, feels empowered, feels lifted up into their higher self. That level of oneness consciousness. Doesn't necessarily have to do anything, just be, right? That state of being. Now, the thing about these 4 levels is that we are identifying with one of these 4 levels, you know, in any moment. We are seeing our world from the lens of that, and we can switch around from different levels. And in fact, we do switch around all the time from, like every day, I know I do. You know, every day I'm at a different level, like something could happen that is unexpected and that I don't like, and I could be immediately victim consciousness. How dare you do this to me, right? And then maybe I think about it a little more, go take a walk, maybe do a couple deep breaths and go, wait a second, I have some power here. Let me call forth my good in this situation. Let me speak my truth. Let me connect with other people who can help me to see the truth about me. Maybe I can, just practice nonviolent communication with this person, Maybe there's something that I can do to change whatever it is here. Or maybe later on in my meditation, I can feel like, I'm just going to stand back and allow love to lead the way. I'm just going to allow spirit to flow through me and inspire me with how to be with this situation. I am seeing the divine in this situation. And then maybe in that mountaintop experience, that mountaintop meditation, I can so connect with that oneness consciousness that none of it matters anymore anyway. Right? So we can switch back and forth between these different levels during the day. It is the level that we identify that we are aligned with on a more consistent basis that's considered our stage of spiritual growth or stage of conscious evolution. All right. So how do we rise up from that sort of base level and sort of rise up through the ladder to a more expansive consciousness? Spiritual practice, right? With spiritual practice, spending time in the silence, cultivating the presence. And being in spiritual community, surrounded by other people who are also on the same path, who are here to help remind me of how powerful I am. Help remind me of my innate magnificence. And I can help remind others of how powerful they are, of how magnificent they are. And if we really want to take a quantum leap in our growth, we can choose to stop at various times in our day and ask ourselves, can I see this differently? Can I see it differently? Can I see the divine in this situation? Can I see the divine in this person or this place or this situation? Help me to see the divine here. Help me to see the perfection in this moment. Or how can I be the change in this situation? How can I be a blessing in this situation? That's how we can do it. So there is an affirmation that it will help to remind us of this and get us in that space. And it is, when I see things differently, I will see different things. You say that with me? When I see things differently, I will see different things. One more time. When I see things differently, I will see different things. Right. So here is your assignment for the week, if you so choose to accept it. Here's your assignment. Plant the seed in your mind that you will stop at certain points in your day, particularly if you're feeling unease, you're feeling upset, you're feeling like, I just don't want this to be happening. You're in total resistance to it. Stop. Take a breath and ask yourself, what level am I coming from here with this? Where am I right now? Am I in victim consciousness? Am I victor consciousness? And can I begin to see it differently? Can I begin to see it from a different lens? Can I see God here in this moment, in this situation, in this experience? Can I open my heart and allow divine wisdom to speak through me? Can I open my heart and allow divine healing love to move through me? Can I be the presence of healing in this situation? When I see things differently, I will see different things. So who's on board for doing this assignment for this week? Raise your hand. Okay. Absolutely. I will send out the affirmation. It will be our Monday's affirmation. That will be it. So please be looking for that and some other stuff you can find on our website to support you in this practice this week. Really important practice. Absolutely. It will shift you. Yes. All right. Namaste. Hi. If this video has inspired you, opened your heart, expanded your consciousness, filled you with hope, empowered you in some way, we encourage you to support what we offer here at Unity Center of Peace by making your donation now. And thank you.